Welcome into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We are here in the Hooters Owl's Nest, and I am so excited to be joined, as always, by Marpet, but today by Yaya Diaby. Thanks so much for being with us.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. I've been excited to have you on all year. One of my favorite rookies. This guy.
Wow, that is
Quite a
quite
statement.
an honor, too.
Quite a statement. This guy's always smiling, always happy to be here, and I just was really ready to have everybody hear what a great guy he is. And I hate that it came after a very unfortunate loss, but we will still hopefully be able to have a little bit of fun here, help everybody get to know you as one of the new additions to the team. But, of course, first we got to talk a little bit about that game, and I have to imagine just the emotions with a loss like that all losses may kind of count the same in terms of on the schedule, but some probably you feel a little bit more hurt a little bit more. Tell us what this one felt like being in the locker room afterward.
Yeah, this one really hurt the most. Like other losses we felt like we should have won, but this one we know we should have won. So that's when it hurt the most. And all the guys who was giving it our all, it wasn't enough. So that's why it hurt the most.
As a rookie now for you, what do you know about how to approach this week even and your role with that of, like, we always talk about, like, oh, what are the leaders on the team doing? How are they going to try to set the tone? As a rookie, who do you look for guidance on that and how you feel like you're going to try to approach this week?
Oh, well, Shaq already told me, we got that 24-hour rule, put it behind us. So I feel like we got to approach this week like more, like everyone has to be locked in more. The guys who's giving us a look, the practice squad guys, everyone has to be locked in for us to get on that edge that, it sucks going 4 games with no wins, but, we got to get that edge and come out with a win.
Yeah, I think that there's something to, take away from it. Like, if that's what you want to do, I mean, obviously there are no, moral victories or anything like that, but you do want to be able to take away from it, right? So from here, how do you learn from that experience? Because that hurt and that frustration can be so motivating. Like you're just saying, throughout the week, if I'm not a gambling man, but I'd be willing to bet that practice is going to be dialed up. Like, I just know that intensity will be there, and I think that's I'm gonna say it is a positive takeaway, honestly. So if you can learn from it, and you have the right leadership out there, that practice is going to be locked in.
Yeah, and how about the idea from coaches? What has been the message about this game as you guys went through film session today, and outside of just the whole 24 hours we got to move on? What are some of the things that you feel like they've been talking about, either for you guys as a defense specifically, or position coach, or even for the team overall?
It's just the little things, like the fundamentals that most guys are going away from, and we try to put emphasis on it last week, coming in on Monday and having practice and going over the little fundamentals. But also it's just us as a defensive line. We got to get to that quarterback, and I feel like it just helps for the front line helps the backside, and the backside help the front line. So for us, it's a challenge for us, and I feel like we just got to harp on that and just get to the quarterback more.
You're right. So defense obviously needs to work in tandem, right? You guys, your D-line helps the D-backs. D-line, absolutely, it's essential. And I'm kind of curious, within this game specifically, if you do have a quarterback who can sort of be mobile and do different things, how does that sort of impact the way that you're sort of attacking the quarterback? Because even from a defensive line, right, you guys need to be on your rush lanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be all consistent and all on the same page. I'm wondering for you, when you do have a more mobile quarterback and you're sort of rushing the quarterback, how do you think about being consistent with your rush lane, but also winning your one-on-one matchup?
Yeah, it's just keeping them in the pocket.
Yeah.
Keeping them in the pocket. Don't let them because if you lose contain, somebody on the inside might have won a rush, but because you lost contain, now it's not a sack. So it's really rushing the right way, but keeping them in the pocket. Helping yourself out, but not getting too high. And when you get too high, that's when you got to convert back, because sometimes that B gap gets wide open.
Yeah.
And that's where the quarterback really likes to take off, and yeah.
So I'm curious though, like if you have like a slide going away from you, and you have your a true one-on-one, and you feel like you have an inside, like do you feel like you can actually take that?
I feel like that's when you got to communicate with the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
You know, you be like, cover me. So
Gotcha.
that's the thing we do. You just be like, cover me. So when
I'd just be shouting that all the time.
when you know a O-line is oversetting you and you know you can beat them on that inside, that's when you tell the defensive tackle, like, yeah, I need you to cover me on this play. I'm about to basically telling them you about to take that inside.
Yeah, what's nice if you're a guard in that situation, that means the D tackle that's rushing you kind of has the eyes on the quarterback, right? Because he's kind of have to more contain. So at that point, he's not able to rush you as well as
And
a
you're
guard.
like, yes, by
It's
all
fantastic.
means, cover him
cover
all the time.
him all day. It just makes the job so much
Makes
easier.
everything so much easier. We're talking to outside linebacker Yaya Diaby. For you guys, I have to imagine, even though knowing as a defense, there were some things that didn't go great in the game, to watch the offense put up 37 points, to have that go-ahead touchdown with 46 seconds left, that's got to be kind of encouraging, where in a game where it takes both sides, it takes everybody, to watch them kind of be coming into their own a little bit more in this game, it feels like. What was it like to watch that performance and what it kind of meant to you guys as a defense?
Man, it meant a lot, you know. Sometimes we don't see that a lot, but when we actually seen it, it actually kind of driven us to, you know, get a stop. And, you know, at the beginning of the game, we was getting a lot of 3 and outs, but as the game went on, you know, it just started to slow down, and it kind of hurt us. But, you know, the offense, they had our back this game, I'm not going to lie, and it was very awesome to see.
Yeah. I mean, it's great when everyone can sort of work together. It's just getting that all 3 phases tied in sometimes is so, again, elusive, but it is really.
Which has got to be frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, so how about for you now as a rookie? I feel like I always love asking rookies this. Have you had a quote-unquote welcome to the NFL moment where it was like, oh, shoot, we at the next level now?
I would say when I first got here going against Big Trish, oh, man, I was like, dang, this guy's the real deal. Like, I always heard about him, and, you know, I always wanted to go against him, but being on the same team as him, it was very exciting when I first got here. I was like, dang, this guy, he's really good. Like, he's good on the speed, he's good on the power. So it's just a hard guy to beat.
I'm curious, like, what is your way? If you're actually going to try and play Tristan practice, what's your go-to?
Cover
with
me.
With me, I love. My coach used to tell me like a lot of work on my long arm, so I try to work on that on Trish. When I first got here, he told me, he was like, dude, like you got a lot of power with that long arm. You gotta start using that more and transition off of when the O-line sits down on that long arm, then you make your next move. So he was, you know, kind of helping me out a little bit.
That's awesome. I love when you have someone on the other side of the ball, like telling you how they see things, because it helps you develop your game, because you're so limited with like how a defensive line sees it or how an offensive line sees it. Like, all right, this is the way to attack it. But if you're seeing something that I'm not seeing, it's great to be able to communicate that. And usually I'm only communicating that to someone that I know that I can
Still beat.
If I'm getting beat by someone regularly,
limit to your
there's a
teammateness.
limit to how nice I'm going to be.
So let's say like you ask Shaq for advice on pass rush moves, and then you're asking an offensive lineman advice on pass rush moves. How is that similar or different in your mind of like what you get out of that, of someone that plays your position versus who is going against you? What are the different ways that can help?
So if I get something from Shaq, it's basically because, you know, Shaq is Shaq. Shaq been doing this for a long time. So Shaq has seen it all. So he'll be telling me something that he see from me that I'm doing, and he'll be like, oh, okay, this how you approach it, and this how you can better your game off doing this. But when you get something from a O-line, it's just y'all just going at it back and forth. He like, dang, dude, you just beat me on this move. This a move you can really keep working on, and it can help you out. So it's like that.
I love that. The Shaq is Shaq.
Yeah. And we all know, we're like, yeah.
Can't coach that off. Shaq is Shaq.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you said that about how you'd been excited, you'd heard about Tristan and you were excited to face him, because I just did an event with him last week where I was asking him about like guys that were the toughest to go against and all that. And I said at the end of his list of some of these outside linebackers and D linemen, I was like, what is it like for you to know that like you're that guy to the other side, that like you're the one that everybody says is like, and he's like, I don't know that people say that. And like here his own teammate is already like saying that when he comes
Tris
in.
is that guy,
Yeah.
and whether he'd admit it to himself or
Yeah,
not.
I thought that was a very nice little humble thing.
Yeah.
So for you, and this is what I enjoy asking, especially with Allie as our offensive line representative sitting here. Tell me what offensive linemen do that annoy you, or that are like the things where you're just like, God, this guy.
They're not
Hold,
annoying.
he says hold.
Offensive linemen aren't annoying.
Of course not,
Holding.
never.
Holding, yeah, they hold a lot.
Okay.
Especially when you beat them over and over, and they like,
They
dang,
get
I don't
desperate.
know. Yeah, it's like a desperate thing.
Okay, so that's a different situation. So yes, I agree.
Okay.
When someone's in an offensive lineman's in a position where like, all right, I got nothing. I'm holding on for dear life. Like actually, I agree. That is annoying.
Yeah.
But the holds that happen throughout the course of the game that you know how to
The holds.
yeah, exactly. You can get sort of savvy with it and know how to go get away with no calls. But yeah, holding is definitely I could understand how it's annoying.
Also like the extra shove, because like when they do their scouting report, they see, oh, this is a rookie, he's not gonna hit back or something, so they'll try to give you that extra shove, and you like, dang, dude, what you doing? Like, relax.
So here's the thing from an offensive line's perspective.
I knew that this was going to be entertaining.
So
That's why I was like,
at times, I think defenses have, and defensive linemen, defensive players have a better perspective of the ball. So there are times I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
So like I got to go until I know what is happening or until a whistle's blown.
Yeah.
So like you can see and you're like, dude, isn't that over there? Like,
Yeah.
what are
You
you
didn't
doing?
play
What's
with
this
that.
extra shove? And why are you holding me back here? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna make the play. But I can't see what's going on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then some of them are just being mean to Yaya.
And then
That's
some
what
are
I'm
mean.
How dare
Well,
they.
to be fair, some are mean.
Yeah.
You don't strike me as a trash talker.
Nah, I really let my play style do the trash talking. If I'm beating you and over, why I need to talk junk forward? Like I'm already
humiliating
making
you.
I'm already making you look bad.
I will say when it gets to the point where an offensive lineman's like holding you out of desperation, and then you say like, "Dude, you got nothing, but all you can do is hold me at this point."
Yeah.
I feel like that is sort of it's a good. That's the only like if you're talking trash, like that's a good play.
Yeah.
It's a nice casual, like it's true, and it doesn't feel good as an offensive lineman. You know you're getting got.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, all you can do is hold me. It's like, yeah, I know.
You didn't have to point it
Yeah,
out.
I know. So just kick them while they're down.
Yeah.
Don't tell any offensive lineman I told you
No one
that.
needs to know that game
Yeah.
from Allie. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access. We are coming to you from the Hooters Owl's Nest. I am joined alongside Ali Marpet by Yaya Diaby. First of all, one of the better names in all of football. It's so fun to say. I'm sure to you, you're just like so used to this at this point, but all of us have really enjoyed it. Yeah. So tell us the story behind it, the origin of the name.
Well, my parents are from Guinea, in West Africa, and my mom, she named me after her older brother. His name was also Yaya, so that's how I got the name.
I like that. So
Family name. I love that.
I know, it's pretty cool. So them being from Guinea, tell me their thoughts on football. What did they know? What did they think of it? What were their thoughts on you playing football?
They still don't know. They still don't know too much about football. It's so funny when my mom watches a game and she just gets excited when we score, or she gets excited when somebody get an interception or something. But every time we make a tackle or another person get tackled, she gets into that mother mode where she's like, ooh.
Are they hurt? Yeah.
Yeah, like, ooh, that look bad. So, yeah, they never wanted me to choose this sport because I played basketball in high school too. She wanted me to choose basketball, but the love for football is like way different from basketball.
So your mom only cheers if there's sort of no contact. If it's just a
Yeah.
touchdown, interception. As soon as there's contact, she's out.
She's out. Yeah.
This is how my mother watches it too. That somebody like gets tackled, or especially if they don't get up right away, she's like, "Oh, his poor mother must be so worried." Everything is about thinking of the other mothers and what they're going through. So for you, what do you like to do outside of football? You said you played basketball in high school. What else is the Yaya Diaby off the field? What do you like to do?
Now I just got into like playing the game a little bit. Just I normally just relax a lot and just watch film and do stuff that relates to football. But I'm trying to find myself more with different hobbies I can do. But right now it's just football.
Eat, sleep, breathe football.
Yeah.
That is the classic rookie response. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
No, it's true because like you're just that's it. You're in a new city, a new environment. Like that's all you're comfortable with. It's all that it's your biggest priority. It totally makes sense. But in the off season, I'm sure you'll find some fun stuff.
How about with the rookie club? I know you guys spend a lot of time together as rookies. You do a lot of fun events, a lot of things that you get to do maybe outside the facility as well. What are some of the things you've liked about the rookie club and some of the activities y'all have done?
Oh man, I honestly like our whole rookie class. Everyone has their own little jits to being a rookie, and it's awesome. Also, when we went to that to the military base, that one was really funny. We had to do this little activity with someone being a cop and someone being a passenger seat in the vehicle, and it was just the funniest thing ever.
That's my favorite thing to watch every year because we're going to assume no one that will be a rookie next year will hear this so we don't spoil it. First group, they always come out just guns blazing, and it's
that was
sounds.
Me. I was a cop. I was a cop, and then as soon as I heard the car shake, I just pulled my gun out and just started blasting.
It was so funny. There was a lot of panic going on.
So, I couldn't be a cop.
That's what we learned. You did this with Donovan, right?
So Donovan and I were the same thing. We were the first volunteers to go, and we were acting as cops. And they started shooting at us right away. And Donovan and I
bailed immediately.
At least we can rule out. But for you and I, we're not going to be cops.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're sticking with the day job. We're talking outside linebacker Yaya Diaby. I know that for you, I love your story of coming to the NFL, and I imagine that this maybe contributes to what you said about I'm kind of eat, sleep, breathe football, that like you were not the guy that was the 5-star recruit out of high school, played at the big school, like just kind of knew the pathway was already ready for you. For people who don't know your story, I know you didn't get any D1 or 2 or any offers out of high school, right?
Offers coming out of high school?
None.
Any star?
No star.
Wow.
This is like Luke last week telling us he was a negative 2-star recruit.
Yeah.
Was it just because you were undersized essentially?
Yeah. I was like 200 pound in high school, and
I did.
I was 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I did everything. I was that's how I felt like they looked at it. My coaches used to come up to me and be like, yeah, they say they like you, but it's not enough.
Well, you were too small in high school.
Yeah.
Where did you play high school ball?
A small school in Clayton County called North Clayton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when did you, because now you're at 260 or something or more?
265.
Yeah. So when did this growth spurt, muscle gain, whatever it is, when did this 60+ pounds happen?
It was my first year at JUCO. I played special team, a lot of special team, and my D-line coach, he was like, man, if you want to go to the next level, go to a good school, you're going to have to put some weight on, especially if you want to play defensive end. So he started telling me, he was like, man, you got to eat like 3 plates at lunch. I was going crazy. I was eating like 3 plates of like meals.
Yeah.
Like that's why now it's like it's hard for me to eat because I did all my eating back then. So
like that should have lasted, right? Like that should have been all the eating I needed to do. I don't need to eat now.
It's like PTSD every time he sits down.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could barely, like sometimes I can't even finish a good meal just because
food is no longer fun.
Yeah, food. Yeah, I ate so much.
What was your go-to? What was your go-to meal?
Shoot, I'm really a wings type of guy, so I eat
Yes.
a lot of wings.
100 wings at a time.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we
eat
get you some Hooters wings. How about
There
that?
you go.
man,
We'll get
I'll
those
take
wings in there. It's so funny how many guys we end up having on the show that are talking about the need to like put on pounds and how people. I think everybody just assumes all of y'all are just built this way.
Been big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, if I show an old picture and just now you'd be like, dang, like I was muscular because I played sports, but it wasn't like
You
how
were
I
lean.
am now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it's calories in, calories out. So, like, in order to gain a certain amount of weight, you need, especially if you're expending a ton of calories,
Yeah, it's
you
so
need to
much.
consume an insane amount of calories. So, there's no way to like circumvent that. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way to go around it. You just
You
got
just got to
eat.
do it. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So then I know when you didn't get those offers, you had to get a job to get yourself through this time. And the job at the airport, was that your main one?
Yeah.
So tell everybody what you did at the airport as you were trying to make your way here. I purposely didn't tell
Cool,
Allie
and
any of this
this
because
is
I was
amazing.
watching his reactions.
Are you
Yeah, I
kidding me?
did. I did wheelchair assistant. And it wasn't fun, but it was fun helping people. That was the fun part. But then you'll run into some people who life is kicking them in the butt, and they just give you a hard time, and all you trying to do is really help them.
Yeah. I had a thought recently. My flight got super delayed, and I got in like 2 a.m. or something like that. And I just felt for there's one person that had to wait for someone that needed assistance, and that poor person just seemed so miserable at the airport.
2
The
in the
person in the
morning.
wheelchair, 2
Yeah.
in the morning, waiting for the wheelchair. It's a brutal job, I think. Yeah.
So what do you feel like you learned having to do this as a way to get yourself to that next level for college, for NFL, and the job itself? How do you feel like that time shaped you?
It just helped me not to take nothing for granted. Like my mom always told me, like, just when you're able to do certain things, just go all in and don't look back. So in high school, I kind of lacked in some things like grades and stuff like that, and didn't take it as serious as I wanted to. But when I got to like college and when I got to Louisville, I made sure I went three back to back year with ACC honor roll, like just little
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a
Just
big
little
deal.
stuff like that, just to stay on top of it. Just because I made that mistake in the past, I ain't not doing it over again.
Man, that's incredible. I do think that can be so beneficial in some ways of like where you learn kind of what the alternative would be. And then it makes it where even the bad days doing this, after tough losses like Sunday, I'm sure for you have that extra perspective of what it could be if not this.
Yeah.
So for you, you work at the airport, you do that job, and then you end up going to Georgia Military College, which is a JUCO.
Yeah.
But it is not a normal JUCO.
Yeah.
It's a military college
JUCO,
JUCO.
yeah,
So tell
yeah.
us what is different about this than a regular JUCO.
So when we got there, I had a lot of hair. That was like, that's the first thing you gonna do. The first thing you gonna do is cut your hair.
Oh, the devastation.
So I had to cut my hair, and then had to
Like
move
what, shave-
into the
shave all the way
shave
down?
it all the way down to
Brutal.
They had like a little ruler to where your hair couldn't be a certain height. So yeah, I had to do that. Then we moved into the military home, and then we had to wake up every day for formation. We had to march every day. And then one day they made us sing happy birthday to the building.
History, man.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
yes,
they
yes.
would like wake up early. Some guys wanted to skip it, but they couldn't because they went looking for everyone.
Oh, my
and we
gosh,
had
of
to
course.
get up and go sing happy birthday to the building. So it was fun though.
Did you know that I mean, obviously it's in the name, but were there other options other than a military school?
It was in Georgia. It was in
Okay.
Georgia, and one of my close friends, he was like, "Yeah, man, they have a tryout. They have a tryout down in Millersville at Georgia Military. We should go." And I was like, "Man, to get football back in my life, yeah, let's do it. Let's go." So that's how it happened.
And how did you feel when you started getting there and realizing what this really was going to mean of like the military part of it on top of everybody else? Was there a moment where you were like, what have I done?
Yeah, it was just it was when I cut my hair, I was like,
I love
That's
the
that's
moment.
that's the
Not
moment.
the 4
I was
a.m.
like,
ways,
I was
but my
like,
Not the
hair.
I was like,
formations.
dang. Then I was like, then we started doing the formation. It was like a good thing for me because it was just helping me just stay, disciplined and stay respectful and just everything my mom taught me. So for me, it wasn't hard but for some of my teammates that was there, it was hard for them because that's not how they was raised. So it was way harder for them.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you go here and then you eventually get to transfer to Louisville. What was it like to go from, I mean, this kind of JUCO to then Louisville, bigger program, bigger stage, all of that? What was that transition like?
Man, it was awesome. My very first game there, man. Cause at GMC we didn't have fans, so we didn't have
Your
fans.
mom didn't come watch
Yeah,
you
we
play,
had
dude?
parents, but it wasn't like no big stadium.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a little high school stadium.
I got
so
you.
so then first game at Louisville, man, it made me shed a tear, cause all
It's
the
beautiful.
Yeah.
cause going from the airport and not having no offers and taking the long route to get to this point. So first game shed a tear. Then after that it was kill mode.
That is a quick
What a
flip to
switch.
switch.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's incredible. I love it. And he just says it with this big old smile.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I killed
did
him.
it.
Like,
30 seconds to take it in.
Yeah.
And then you get after it.
that was
Fantastic.
incredible. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access. We are coming to you from the Hooters Owl's Nest. Ali Marpet alongside Yaya Diaby. We were just talking about your journey, high school to JUCO to Louisville. Tell me about the draft process for you, where I imagine after you kind of weren't recruited out of high school, was there some nerves about what now this next jump would be like and what it was going to be like in terms of trying to tell teams what you were about?
Yeah, man, that draft process was very long. It was long. Cause when I went to the senior bowl, that's when I started talking to different coaches and different organization, and that process was long. And when I went to the combine, that's the first time I really talked to Tampa. Cause I don't even think I talked to Tampa when I went to the Senior Bowl. So I really only got to talk to Tampa one time. I really didn't think I was going to come to Tampa, but
I love how often I hear this. I feel like we're just like ultimate stealth mode in pre-draft
Very,
things.
very sneaky.
Very, very sneaky. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
because I remember when I had the meeting with Tampa, as soon as I was leaving, they was like, so what you going to run? So what you going to run? I knew myself I was going to run a good time. I just wanted to surprise everyone. So I kept that to myself and just wanted
I like
to
this strategy.
Smart.
just surprise everyone. And they like, dang. So I went and I did that.
And the time, for the record, was a 4.51.
Yeah.
Not too shabby
That's
at all.
unbelievable.
A ridiculous time. You also got the second highest athleticism score at the combine,
Whoa.
which I didn't know was even a thing until I found this stat on Yaya.
What was your, do you remember your vert?
Vert was a 37.
Yeah, it was the second
That
highest
is
athleticism score among defenders in his class, which is incredible. Did you do what you expected to do at the combine? Did you because you didn't tell everybody what you expected, we don't know. Was that better, worse? Where did you think you'd do in all those different tests?
Well, I kind of disappointed myself in the
Oh
broad
my
jump.
gosh.
I
In the broad
disappointed,
jump.
yeah, the broad jump.
Love
I
it.
disappointed myself in the broad jump, but everything else, yeah, the 40 was awesome. My 10-yard splits was through the roof. I was happy about the 10-yard split. The vert, I already knew I could jump, so I already knew I was gonna do that.
I
So,
love it.
so yeah.
That's great.
So no pro day for you then, or what? No.
Yeah, the pro day was just doing drills with different coaches.
Yeah, once you feel that good.
Oh yeah,
you're
you
like,
do that at the combine. You're like,
shut
no,
it
no,
down.
no. I feel like that we now know that Josh Allen didn't watch the combine because then he'd have known he wasn't going to outrun you in
Yeah.
that game for your first career sack. I feel like you definitely as you talked about trying to surprise the Bucs with your speed, I think you've surprised a few people around the league that you are big. You are a big dude. You don't come across like someone that's going to have that kind of closing speed. Yeah. I feel like that's got to be something you can use to your advantage of like, I don't think they're going to see this coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Catching people off guard with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
The best is the sneaky strength. The guys that don't look that strong, and then you get that long arm in your chest, like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So then after you have the combine, you get drafted in the 3rd round. I mean, that's incredible, especially, again, looking back at your story and everything. What was that like when you got the call, you knew you were being drafted and pretty high up?
Man, I'm telling you, I cried. Mom was
and then
sitting,
flipped the kill switch,
and
obviously.
then you flipped 30 seconds of crying.
Mom was sitting next to me. My whole family was there, man. It was an amazing time for me, you know, just all the hard work and all the things I've been through, and, you know, just always having good people in my corner like my parents and my siblings. So it was just a awesome time.
That's unbelievable. I imagine that's much higher than you expected you were going to get drafted.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? What were people telling you?
They was talking like late third, early fourth. So
that's awesome. With your parents being from Guinea, where do you feel like that influenced you? The idea of where they're from, their background. What are the ways that you've seen that shape who you are to this point?
Just like I said, don't take things for granted. You know, them being from there, they don't come from a lot. So my family, we don't come from a lot. You know, all we know is working hard and getting to where we want to be. So that's how I wake up every day and just attack my day. You know, just there's no tomorrow. You know, you gotta attack it day by day and just keep moving forward.
And you're the first guy to wear 0 in the entire Buccaneers team history. You will forever have that as something. Is that something that you thought was pretty cool? Did that contribute to you wanting to wear it?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. And you know, I was talking to my family, and then it was like, yeah, man. To think about it, like you came out of high school 0 stars, came out of everything 0. So it just it made me feel even more excited and more honored to, you know, wear the number.
It's a little reminder where you've been.
Exactly.
Love that.
I like that. That's pretty cool. And I know Baker took the number you had in college, so I'm sure that contributed to it as well.
Yeah, also, yeah, it did.
Okay, so 0 is your second choice.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick with the 0 as
That's
the
a
like
way better
felt
story,
thing.
dude.
Yeah,
Stick
the
with
Baker
that.
part had nothing to do with it. It was
Yeah.
all for that thing. So for you, what do you feel like is football-wise what you want to work on the most now to finish out your rookie year in terms of whether it be pass rush moves or some of the things that you feel like coaches are telling you they could see for you to grow in?
Man, I just want to play my role the right way. You know, I want to help this team out the best way I can. Because I feel like we're going through something right now where we're in need of somebody to be that guy to just bring everyone up and, you know, make plays, and I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna keep working hard in practice, you know, keep showing coaches what I can do and try to get on that field and make plays. And I'm just trying to help this team out a lot. I'm trying to help this team out a lot in more years to come.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can be challenging though when you're switching reps, right? Like to get a feel for the game. That's like an edge rusher.
Man. It's the hardest thing, man. But you know, that's all you can do. Control what you can control, you know, and just take it play by play.
What are the things that you feel like you've learned from being around? You know, I mean, you got some great guys in your room with Shaq and Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, and Anthony Nelson. But they're all 3 very different players. What do you feel like are the things that you've learned from each of them? What are the things that kind of each of them bring to the room that you can say, all right, I want this from this guy, I want this from this guy, like the different things that you've learned?
So like Nelly's like the second coach. Nelly knows everything. So Nelly's like the second coach. Shaq is just like I said, Shaq is Shaq.
Shaq is Shaq.
I love that. I want a t-shirt that says that.
Yeah, Shaq is Shaq. So any little moves I can learn, I'll go to Shaq. And with Joe, it's just being being this age and him being the same age, just his mindset and how he approach it at this age and at this time since he done been in here for 3 years. So, with him it's just more of the mental and just how to attack things.
I like that.
One of the, I mean, obvious Shaq's strengths is his get off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, like for you, has he been able to provide any sort of tips or feedback on how to do what he can do?
Or is he just like,
is he
just be built
whatever
like
he
me, and
does
that's what it takes? Yeah.
So with Shaq, I kind of looked on YouTube. I searched Shaq up on YouTube, and I looked up ways that what he does in a game, and what I learned is he kind of look at the clock. He look at the little countdown clock and see that's when he takes off, and I'm trying to add that in my package, but I'm just taking it step by step, and eventually it's gonna help me out a lot.
What are your favorite pass rush moves?
With me it's my long arm, because a lot of tackles can't handle long arm in this league. So and I have some good strengths. I got
the sneaky,
I like that.
strength.
I
That's good.
got some good strengths.
It's
So
okay.
I feel like my long arm and my speed to power is something that I go off of.
I'll give you a little bit of tips if may
Hit me
I?
with it.
Am I allowed
Hit me
to?
with it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
go ahead.
No, what I was saying is I think that those guys that can be versatile, right? So like it's nice to have something to fall back to,
Yeah.
right? So your long arm, that's your go-to.
Yeah.
But if you can threaten with other things,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes the game so much harder for an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So if you can actually threaten with speed, and you can threaten, come back inside, and you can threaten with speed to power,
Yeah.
all those things, that's what makes it difficult for offensive linemen. And if you have that athletic skill set, which it sounds like you do, and it shows up, that's really what gets offensive linemen.
Yeah. So what do you think would be those next moves that you're like, all right, this I'm good at, this I've got nailed? What would be the moves that you feel like would be most beneficial for you to get a little bit better
I
at?
feel like the cross chop. I've been working with the cross chop with Kalijah a lot, because that's his go-to.
Yeah, he's good
his
with
go-to
that.
move. He's
Yeah.
really good at that. So I've been working the cross chop with him and just trying to add that to my tool as well.
Yeah, it's nice to try and work those in practice when you can, just as a little change up.
Yeah.
We're talking to Yaya Diaby. You brought up Kalijah. I have to imagine that it's been fun to be a rookie alongside him and get a chance to watch him. While I'm sure it was really hard watching him get injured and miss a lot of time, then he comes in and, I mean, man, it's like he never missed any time. And it's almost like he's not a rookie either. Some of the numbers and stats, getting a couple sacks already. He had 3 tackles for loss in the game, which is the most by a Bucs rookie since Vita in 2018.
Wow, that's
not a bad
awesome.
rookie to
Nice.
get compared to.
Yeah.
So what have you seen from Kalijah, both in terms of on the field and then being kind of the quote-unquote leader of the rookie group? It's, whoever your first pick is kind of always tends to take that leader role in the group. What's it been like with him?
Yeah, it's just the way he approached the game, the way he approached it. He take this like very serious. Like when you sit down and talk to him about like pass rush and stuff, like you can see the enlightenment in his eyes, because he's very passionate about pass rushing, and that's something I take from him. I try to ease my way in, and adding some more tools in my toolbox with talking to Kalijah, and we just all goofy in our own ways. We got Voss, that's his brother since they came from Pitt together. Then we got Jose, so that's like our little group. So we always help each other and uplift each other, whenever we're down, and keep each other going.
Yeah, it's so cool. This has got to be one of the biggest rookie classes, right? That came in.
It was a huge group.
Yeah. And I mean, so, it's not rare, but the fact that you guys are so close and have such a big class is so special. And you got so many guys on defense, and also so many guys that are sort of expected to show up too. Like that's unique. You have a bunch of rookies that are expected to perform and perform at a high level, not so much in the backseat. There's not a lot of redshirt years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. What is the hardest adjustment in your mind from college to pro so far?
I would just say for me it's just the playbook. Me me having to, drop because I didn't drop at all at Louisville. So,
That's a
you
big
know, it's a
deal.
little adjustment for me, but as I keep going on, it's just getting way easier for me, and that's another thing. Like Joe, he's very good at dropping, so I try to look at the way he approached that and the way he takes on his drops and his rushes, and it's just little things like that that's helping me out a lot.
So how about learning Bowles' scheme? You talked about that with the playbook, and you are getting asked to maybe do a couple things you didn't in college. What are the things that you like about his scheme and that you think help you in that position? And then what are some of the things that were like, oh man, I got to start kind of figuring this out? Because we know he likes to make it complicated for the other team, but you don't want it to be complicated for you guys. So how have you tried to make sure that you've got that figured out, and some of the things that you've learned of what it's like to play within Bowles' scheme successfully?
Well, first learning it, I go to Nelly.
Yeah,
Nelly,
coach.
yeah,
You gotta
Nelly
I love that
being
you just said he knows everything.
Nelly,
I love that.
Nelly being a coach, I go to Nelly. Nelly for just learning things with the playbook and just me being in the scheme. I feel like they're trying to get me more and more involved in different packages and things just to get me out there, and for me, I just have to learn it and do it. So just like I said, I go to Nelly. Nelly is my guy. He helps me out a lot with the playbook and try to break it down to me the best way I can understand it.
That's a big deal.
One thing that's also really cool about Coach Bowles, I feel like some coaches will have like, all right, this is the scheme. I'm going to teach you how to do my scheme. What Coach Bowles does, I think, so well is he can say, all right, I've got this athlete, or I've got this skill set of an athlete. How do I incorporate that into the scheme? Like, how do I get the right package for you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it'll take time and all that stuff, but I think that's really unique, and you're fortunate that you get to experience that, because there are a lot of coaches in the NFL that like, this is it. You have to do it the way that I do it, and this is how it works. So do it this way. So,
And how about the idea of having some guys on the defense? We've talked about the guys in your room specifically, but then I think about Vita, I think about Levante and Antoine in particular, and the level that they've been playing at this year, which even for them is just wild. What is it like to be on a defense with talents like that, and the way that you try to learn from them, even at a different position than you?
Man, Levante, oof.
Right?
that's, I
man.
feel like it's everyone's
Everyone.
That
thoughts.
man, there is no way he's still moving that fast. Like it's crazy. Like I love watching him, and he's such a great leader, and Antoine as well. He's such a great leader, and he has a knack for everything. Like he's somebody on the defense that when you look at him, you're like, dang. Why am I not going hard? Like you see the way he practiced, the way he approached everything. Like you be like, dang, why am I taking this day off? Why am I taking this play off and seeing somebody like that going hard all the time, just like Levante and just like Vita? They just approach this game so much different, and they want high success for this defense, and for us young guys, we just gotta buy in more and just help where it's needed.
That's awesome. All right, we are going to take one more break here. We have another segment coming up on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio. Welcome back into Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters. We are here in the Hooters Owl's Nest, and it is time for our final segment here with Yaya Diaby. And in the commercial break, we were realizing you got clay in your hand. You're moving around. Tell me what this is. Was this a stress ball? Is this a hand workout thing? What are we doing?
Just helping out my fingers. I kind of dislocated one of them, so just helping.
Just kind of
Just a
dislocated.
little,
Just a little dislocation.
dislocation.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my strength back in my fingers, and that's what I've been doing this whole time.
That's awesome.
No.
Working out during our radio show.
No
over here.
interviews off.
Yeah. That is exactly right. I love that. Well, okay, so for you guys, I know that there's a lot of measures of success for your position group in particular, but looking at sacks, QB hits, QB pressures, where do you feel like your group, what's the grade you guys feel like you'd probably give yourselves to this point in the season, and what are the things that you feel like it's going to take to get some of those numbers a little bit higher to where you want them to be the rest of the year?
As a defense or position?
As let's say position group for now, outside linebacker.
For position, man, I feel like for us as a position, we gotta do better. We gotta do way better. We gotta help help the guys out in the back more, and just finding ways to communicate and just if we have to communicate with the D tackles to just like a cover me or something like that, like just different stuff to help us out to get to that quarterback, because that's what we're lacking right now. Getting pressures on quarterbacks, and I feel like that's what's gonna help this team out a lot. And they always say it start with the front line, and for me, like that always been like a big thing for me. When I was at Louisville, my coach, my D-line coach, Mark Ivy, he always told me it starts with y'all. So I took that to heart. Whenever they try to call out the defensive line, I took that to heart, and it helped us out a lot because we we got a lot of sacks at Louisville. So I just feel like we just got to be more bought in, and just helping each other out. Because if like how it is here, you got your starters and you got people coming off the bench. I just feel like if you got your starters, the people behind you should be just like the starters. So that's where for me I gotta do way better for myself and helping the team out. If I'm coming in a game, it shouldn't be no lack, no down. It should keep rising and keep elevating.
Yeah, I'm totally unbiased, but I think the best teams, right, O-line, D-line, tends to like the ones that do well in the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Offensive, defensive line starts with them, and especially when you have like a defensive line and you have outside linebackers, edge rushers the backups can get to the quarterback, it is so defeating. So let me just paint the picture a little bit. Like as an offense, you feel like you're moving the ball, you're doing what you got to do, and then they bring in the next guys, right?
Yeah.
And those guys can still get after it, and you're just like when am I going to get a break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like because they're fresh.
You're
and
not.
I'm not, and they're actually still can actually play. Like, so I think I just know
mental
that,
side of that,
mental
yeah.
side of that. Like when you have your backup guys that can come in and get a pass rush, it's unbelievable. So it goes a long way.
We're talking to outside linebacker Yaya Diaby. So now looking ahead to the Titans, knowing that you guys obviously are going to feel like you got to get a W, break the streak at this point. I know you played against Will Levis in college, right, last year?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Okay, let's go. Perfect.
Yeah, even better.
Say more about that.
Yeah, he went to Kentucky, and Louisville and Kentucky were rivals. So yeah, I didn't like him at all. Like when he came to our stadium, he was throwing the L's down a lot. So I really didn't like him. Like when we went to Kentucky my last final year, got some hits on him and a sack on him. So seeing him at the next level is gonna put a little bit more urge and more fire in me. So yeah.
Well, that sounds great.
You got a little sack celebration if you get a chance to sack them.
I've been saving it for the right sack moment.
This feels
right
like the
moment.
right sack moment
Just so
to
you
me.
know,
Yeah.
this could be the moment.
Yeah.
So you have it in your mind. You know exactly what it is. You've been
Waiting for the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure you're not going to tell us what it is.
I'm not.
I figured. I had to ask. It's my job. I had to ask. And then also, all right, so let's talk a little bit about, I know you don't like Will Levis, but both what he could bring in terms of what you guys are going to have to look out for other than him just, being mean, apparently. So tell me what you remember about him X's and O's wise.
He's very poised type of quarterback. He will make bad decisions, but at the same time he makes a lot of good and like at a point where he's trying too hard to make plays. So I feel like for us, like a defensive line, if we can get in his face, it will really mess with him a lot.
Yeah, I think that when you get into a young quarterback and then consistently, there's going to be a mistake. There'll be an opportunity. And we've talked about how important turnovers are, right? So, like, if you can get those opportunities, that swings the game.
Exactly.
So.
And then, so how about Derrick Henry? I feel like that's quite a tall order. I remember when I first saw him in person, and I was like, that is a running back? What? That's
doesn't make sense.
Defensive end. I don't understand. So what is that like to know you're facing him?
Yeah, never seen him in person, but I know he's a guy that that teams focus on when they're playing the Titans, and I know we're gonna be focused on them because they're gonna try to pound the ball and get him a lot of carries. So that's how we're gonna manage this game a good way. If we can stop him, then that's gonna help us get pass rush opportunities and get to Will Levis.
I don't know. Y'all are finally back at home. This is quite a stretch here of a lot of road games. I love asking rookies this in terms of just what you love about playing in our stadium and then also how you're handling the Cannons at this point.
Oh yeah, the Cannons get me every time. Like I don't
Still
know what
haven't
it
gotten
is.
used to
Yeah,
it, huh?
I don't know what it is. Like I'll be sitting there and I just hear boom,
jumbled.
boom. I'm like, damn, why is this going off at this time? But yeah, the Cannon is like the Bucs. Bucs fans are awesome, man. They're always showing love every time. Every time we come in for like warm ups, there multiple fans already there just waiting on just to see us. And for me, I love putting a smile on somebody's face because I'm always smiling. So I love putting a smile on somebody's face. So yeah, it's just awesome fan and awesome environment.
That's awesome. Well, Yaya, thank you so much for joining us and taking the time out. And really, we do just so appreciate you coming on. And you are such a light around here. Like, you are always smiling. You have such a great attitude about it. We just wish you nothing but the best and good luck against the Titans.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And thanks to all of you guys for being here on Buccaneers Total Access, brought to you by Hooters, the original wing joint since 1983. This is Buccaneers Radio.